Wiggles. I'll explain that one to you later. Let me first of all say what an honor it is to be asked to speak to this group. When I was thinking about it, I realized that 2 years ago I had strep throat, so I wasn't able to attend this luncheon, and last year I was out of state and wasn't able to attend, so I think they figured out the only way they were going to get me here is to ask me to talk. And my staff can tell you I love to talk in this kind of setting or any kind of setting for that matter, and I don't get nervous about it. It doesn't really bother me. The only things I worry about a little bit are how people will receive the speech, whether or not they'll think it was smart enough or on topic or pertinent to the happenings of the day. But one good thing about today is when I look out and see half of our staff here, they're going to think it was good, or at least tell me that. So that makes me feel a little bit better about the end result. I also got to tell you that my 3-year-old daughter, before November, asked me several weeks ago, she said, "Daddy, why are you always reading the newspaper?" Because I read every article and the whole thing and read it 2 or 3 times a day. And I was trying to explain to her so that you'll know what's going on with current events and so that you'll know what is going on in your community and around the state. I read 2 or 3 newspapers. But last night I really figured it out. I didn't read the Hope Star last night until about 8 o'clock. I usually read it a little bit earlier, but had some things yesterday that prevented that. And I'm so glad I did, because when I read what Ken said I was going to say, I thought, wow, I need to say something about that. It altered my speech a little bit for what I was going to talk about today. So anyway, no, I joke a little bit on that. Ken and I did talk yesterday, so that was not, but I did realize I probably needed to put a little bit more emphasis on a few other things. Now, I'm going to talk about economic development. I'm going to talk about workforce education and those sorts of things today. And some of my comments and some of the statistics that I throw at you aren't going to cause us to jump up and lead a cheer or anything. They're pretty sobering, and some of those we really have got to keep in mind as we look towards our future. But before I do that, I want to take a really quick opportunity, I have to say something about our institution and what's happening out there, and talk about what these people that are in this room are doing for our institution. And I'm just going to throw about, I don't know how many there are, 10 maybe, things that have happened in about the last 2.5 years. Many of these within the last 2 years. But real quickly, first of all, you helped us pass the bond election for higher education by 71% in Hempstead County, which eclipsed the statewide pass rate. Bo Powers helped us secure a 10% increase in state appropriations last year. And when I'm in a room with legislators or others, I'll say, "How long has it been since we gotten that much money?" They usually say ever. So it was certainly a good year. We have secured almost $600,000 in general improvement funding during that same time period, which exceeds many institutions across the state. We have secured for the first time this year funding just simply for economic incentive projects, and I'll talk about that in a few minutes. Our spring 2000 enrollment last year for first-time freshmen was up 22.6%. Our enrollment this fall, this is mind-boggling. Our head count enrollment, how many bodies we have, is up 19% over 1 year ago. Our full-time equivalent enrollment, which signifies how we actually get our funding from the state, is up 26% in 1 year. Those are really... Those are really phenomenal figures, and we have been celebrating those, and we'll continue to celebrate those. You'll probably read about, I got in the fountain in my suit a couple of days ago, and you'll probably see some rather embarrassing pictures about that as we go along. Our commencement awards, our number of graduates up 63% since 2004. In our private giving categories, we've increased our number of scholarship endowments from 1 to 17. Our total endowment value has increased by 470%. We've quadrupled the number of private scholarships that we've given. We've increased the amount of institutional scholarships that we've given by 105% over 1 year. We've raised over $650,000 in new funds, and our foundation assets have increased by 125% the last 2 fiscal years. All of that has happened not because of anything that I'm doing, but because of the work that our faculty and staff are doing, and because of you. Did you realize that of all money in the United States that goes to higher education, out of all money that goes to higher education, less than 0.5% of that goes to community colleges? And so what we've been able to do in a very short time period is absolutely remarkable. We should all be proud of that. Please thank our faculty and staff when you see them. Please thank our students when you see them, because they are making a difference. And when I talk about some of these other things we need to be doing, you'll realize that we're on the track. We've just got a lot of work to do.